بالضبط هيك إحنا بنعمل.
Samar Khawaira is a Palestinian journalist from Nablus in the occupied West Bank who was detained last April and spent 9 months in Israeli jails, held without a charge.
يعني مثلا ال
And he showed Reuters just how little food he received at Israel's Megiddo and Nafha prisons.
10 أرغفة من هذا الخبز.
Khawaira said he received 10 thin slices of bread a day with small amounts of hummus and tahini
خلال النهار.
and tuna twice a week. He recalled how prisoners would hoard their daily bread for a week and then gorge themselves on it on Saturday.
أنا
I
سألتهم
asked these prisoners why they do this. Their answer was, we want to feel one day that we are full. Even once a week, we want to feel full. We are never full.
The 45-year-old said he lost 49 pounds between arrest and release. He said he emerged so emaciated his 9-year-old son didn't recognize him. Khawaira's account comes 5 months after Israel's Supreme Court ruled the country's prisons were failing to provide enough food for Palestinian detainees and ordered conditions improved. But emaciated prisoners such as Khawaira still emerge with tales of hunger and abuse. The Israel Prison Service declined to comment on Khawaira's individual case, but said it, quote, rejects allegations of starvation or systematic neglect. Nutrition and medical care are provided based on professional standards and operational procedures. A spokesperson said the service, quote, operates in accordance with the law and court rulings, and all complaints are investigated through official channels. Reuters could not independently verify Khawaira's diet during his captivity, the reasons for his extreme weight loss, or exactly how widespread his experience is among the 9,000 Palestinians held in Israeli jails. Reuters also could not independently determine the total number of prisons where the scarcity of food prevailed, or the total number of inmates who experienced its toll. But Khawaira's account was consistent with descriptions in some reports compiled by lawyers after prison visits. Reuters reviewed 13 such reports from December and January, in which 27 prisoners complained of a lack of food, with most saying provisions had not changed since the court order.
One of the reasons that we're so concerned is the lack of transparency.
Noah Satat is the executive director of the Association for Civil Rights in Israel, or ACRI. The group was involved in last year's landmark court case that led to the order for better treatment for prisoners, and ACRI is pressing the courts to hold the prison service in contempt.
And all the indications that we're getting is that not much has changed since the decision in December. The prisoners are not given more food if they ask for it. There hasn't been any medical examinations of the situation of the prisoners, and the prisoners are still hungry, and that's why we filed the contempt report.
Since the October 7, 2023 attack by Hamas gunmen on Israel, the number of detainees swelled as Israel swept up prisoners in its assault on Gaza and launched a crackdown in the West Bank. In charge of the prisons is Security Minister Itamar Ben-Gvir, a far-right settler activist. Among Ben-Gvir's first acts in office, 8 months before the war began, was to shut prison bakeries where Palestinian detainees had been allowed to make their own food, saying he aimed to cancel, quote, benefits and indulgences.
Ben-Gvir was targeting the security prisoners and talking about their diet long before the war, and he was always adamant to humiliate and torture security prisoners.
Ben-Gvir did not respond to a request for comment, including on whether the prison service is now in compliance with the court's ruling and whether any policies have been changed in response to it. The Supreme Court did not respond to a request for comment on the case.